welcome back to Thriving Stories. This is another edition of Thriving Stories tonight, and my name is Toyin Aderemi. I'll be your host for today. And guess who we have on the show tonight? I'll just give a brief introduction. Her name is Mrs. Mojisola Olutorimi, and she's a global career coach and a talent consultant. So tonight, I won't do all the talking. She's going to do most of the talking, but I want you to grab your pen and your notepad, or just put on your phone, your gadgets, put it on a fresh template where you can type as fast as possible, because she's going to be dishing out juicy nuggets tonight. So, Ma, can we please meet you? Can you tell us about yourself? What do you do? What are you known for? Thank you. Over to you, Ma.
All right. Thank you so much, Toyin. Okay, what I do, I think you mentioned what I do already. I'm a global career coach. I'm very enthusiastic about helping people build thriving and fulfilling careers. I'm also a corporate trainer and a talent consultant. So basically, that's what I do for work.
Thank you very much, Ma. Yes, I guess that's what most people know about you. Can you tell us something most people do not know about you?
About me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Most people don't know I run a business because I've been perceived as a career person. So yes, I run a business on the side because I don't get to talk a lot about it, which is very funny because I don't know how you have a business that you don't talk about if you want to make sales. Then, what else don't people know about me? So many engagements that I don't really talk about in the public light, actually.
Okay. Yeah. I personally wouldn't be surprised because I know you as a multi-potentialite, right? I recently was on one of your shows and it was amazing. Okay, so let's take a few steps back to your growing up. How was it like? Were there specific incidents that you always like to refer to as your most memorable moments?
Okay. Growing up was good. I'm the first child of 4 children from my parents. And I grew up in an average nuclear family. My mom was the most present parent in the sense that she was working with federal government. So she returns home earlier than my dad. My dad worked in banking all his career. And what weekends usually make up for is, absence during the week. Though he comes home, weekdays, but of course, very late, probably when we're already going to bed or in bed already. So weekend was fun. We always look forward to weekends. As at then, it was just myself and my brother before the other 2 children came. So weekends, you usually make up for it, take us out. Sometimes we eat out. Sometimes we go to amusement park. You just do anything you can to just make that, don't worry, I'm still your father. So weekend for you. So it was good. Growing up was good. And of course, being the first child, a lot of experiments will go on you. So many things that were tested on me were not tested on my siblings as the first child. But averagely, it was good because I still have, born again parents. Yes. So if there was anything that I learned from my mom is the power of prayer, because she actually knew that our own work had limitations, but prayer has no limitations when it comes to raising a child. So that one helped as well. She taught us family altar every morning, whether you're sleepy or not. If 2 things, is that slap on your back or water on your face to get you to participate during morning devotion. So it was good. Growing up I would say it was good.
Good to know that you are a person who values, right? Transgenerational and transitioning values. And I guess, of course, we have the right guests tonight. So we'd like to also know, so far, who would you say has been the strongest influence in your life and why?
I would say my mom.
Okay.
Yeah, she has been the strongest influence. But I still have some stronger influence now that I'm an adult. Okay.
Okay.
But she has been the one, at least since when I was growing up, and that was because of the values she passed down to us. I mean, my mom taught me tithing from secondary school. When I received gifts from visitors and all that, she taught me tithing. Even before I got into university and I started hearing messages on tithing, and I got a deeper understanding. I've been tithing from secondary school, and I learned that you can never be stranded from her, even though she doesn't use that word stranded, because I've seen God showed up for us, showed up for her in different ways. Because I mean, working as a federal government worker, it's not like you're earning so much, but I've never seen her lack. That was just it. And she was, she has always been a faithful tither. She's a giver. I've seen her give. So that influence really, really, I believe, really rubbed off on me. A value system.
Awesome. Great to know that the strongest influence in your life actually passed on a good perception of value systems. And I believe these have actually shaped your personality and your value system as well. Thank you for sharing that. Okay, so back to the theme of tonight's conversation. I remember you mentioned thriving, that you help people thrive in your space using the talents and skills that you have. Yes. What is thriving then to you, ma'am?
Well, thriving means to do well. So thriving actually means to do well, to excel, to succeed at what you're doing. That's what it means to thrive.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. What area have you had your biggest transformation or turning point? Was it in career? Was it in parenting? And can you share a little bit of, how it happened, ma'am?
Okay. Well, my biggest turning point would be at the phase of my life when I understood my purpose. I was clear. And that would be way back in university, in my third year. And I'm not sure, maybe I heard from somewhere, I attended an event where I just realized that I needed a mentor. Like, okay, now that I'm clear my assignments, I need somebody to hold my hand. I can't do it on my own. I need somebody to walk me through this phase of my life. So, but I didn't know who that would be, but I knew that I needed a mentor. I knew that I needed to submit to somebody. I needed an authority figure over my life, apart from my parents. I attended one event like that in my university, okay, put together by two ladies organization, like ladies group. One of them was God's Great Girls, Women, and the second one was Women of Destiny. At that time, DDK was the anchor of God's Great Girls Network. So they did a collabo and had an event at Amphitheater at OAU back then. So I attended the event at Amphitheater, and Pastor Funke Obaje was one of the guest speakers. There were other women that were guest speakers there. Prior to that time, I wanted somebody to be my mentor. The person doesn't even know I exist, but the person used to be a guest speaker at one of our fellowship events that we had. So she came from Lagos. So I started thinking that I can't even get through to this woman to mentor me. But God had a bigger plan for me. I mean, someone that doesn't even know me. I was just, craving, desiring that, I would like this kind of person to mentor me. Now that I know I needed a mentor. So, but I didn't have any plan on how I would reach her because I didn't have a phone number. I have never had a personal contact with her. I only sat down under administration and I was blessed. So while I was still contemplating, Lord, how am I going to do this? I went for this particular event at Amphitheater in OAU. So during the events, there was a time they were making altar calls, praying for some of the ladies with different situations, calling out different issues and things like that. I was just on my seats, my eyes were closed, I was praying. And all of a sudden I opened my eyes and my eyes got fixed on Pastor Funke. And I actually heard it clearly that is your mentor. I'm like, really? How am I going to do this? But I remember I was having that conversation with the Holy Spirit that I know, but I told that I want this person. The Holy Spirit just kept quiet. That now you sabi, that's the woman that I've sent to you. I was seated at the back. If you know OAU Amphitheater, I don't know when I flew to the front. I would say fly because I don't know what carried me to the front, because she was already leaving the auditorium. The event had not ended, but of course, they were going to be wrapping up. So she was walking out with a PA. I just had to go and block her at the entrance. What was pushing me? That's the transformation part. I knew it has to be the Holy Spirit. So I had to block her. I greeted her briefly, and I told her that I would like to have an appointment with her and all that. I was expecting two things. She would rather snub me. She said she doesn't have time or something. And she gave me an appointment there and then to come and see her. So before, when I went to see her, I narrated what the dealings of God with me in that area of my life. And just for you to know, that was not the first time I was hearing about her. I'd, of course, known about Apostle Shegun prior to that time, but I didn't have any physical contact with any of them. So for me, I felt like, why do you have to go? Why this woman? Holy Spirit, why? So I went for my first meeting with her, and I told her that this is what God told me about you, about your assignment in my life. And I was like, please, I can go and come back, ma, so you can pray about it. Imagine. Because I was already feeling like, please, I'm not forcing myself on you, because I know that you in my mind, you're like, a lot of people are already attached to you. You're a very famous person and all that. So there and then she said there's no need. And she gave me my first assignment. So for me, that was my turning point, because from that instance, my life changed because I obeyed. Even though it was under the most unusual circumstance, that was the turning point for me. So that's been happening since then. Until date, yes, she's still my mentor till date. So that was as far back as 2008. Yeah.
Awesome. And here you are today doing amazing well. You know, while you told your story, I could hear three tools that, helped you through transitioning and, progressing through seasons, that you did not take lightly your personal connection with your creator. And you also, appreciated the value of having a helping hand in the place of a mentor or a coach. And then you also took actions, because it was one thing to know that this is what you needed, and it's another thing to actually take that action. Thank you so much for sharing these points. And I believe someone is hearing this, watching this at any time, either live or as a replay. You have seen that this is the person that is going to help you through your seasons, and you're still sitting down there. You need to take that move, make that move. Even if you're scared that this person might snub you, just try. Keep yourself back. Thank you so much, Mrs. Mojisola Olutorimi, for sharing this. Now we can see your before. We have seen the interventions you used, and now we want to know about your current state. So are there things in your life now? Are there one or two things that you are enjoying right now, and you can boldly say that it is connected to that relationship you spoke about to us, your mentorship relationship?
Yes. Where I am right now, I've enjoyed speed, number one, because once I have a sense of direction, I've heard direction is better than speed, right? But I got the sense of direction, and I also enjoyed speed with it, because it also saved me from mistakes I would have made if I didn't have a mentor, if I didn't have somebody to guide me, if I didn't have a guide, if I didn't have anybody to look up to or hold my hand. So I've enjoyed so much speed. I've enjoyed growth. I've enjoyed tremendous growth, okay? Being submissive under a mentor. So speed, growth. I've enjoyed clarity, because clarity is progressive. So I acted on the little I knew then, but of course, with the years, by and by, as the years as I was growing, I started getting clearer about what I wanted to do. So I've enjoyed speed. I've enjoyed growth on all sides, okay, especially spiritually, because in enjoying spiritual growth, it has pretty much impacted on every other aspect, every other expression of my life. So I would say speed. I've enjoyed speed, and I've enjoyed growth. I mean, I've enjoyed growth. I've enjoyed depth, DEPTH, okay, by that singular decision I made.
Wow. Thank you so much for
Okay.
sharing. I mean, you mentioned something, you said clarity is progressive, and it just reminds me of a particular resource from Coach Falafaya when she gave a distinct comparison between conviction and clarity. And you saying that clarity is progressive, I mean, if we have heard two or three people say the same thing, it shows that there is a fact, there's an established fact there. So I want us to go home with that as well, among all the nuggets we are getting tonight. Okay, so to the next question. So in the concept of mentorship or coaching, or even people's perception of a mentor, are there challenges you've noticed people have had? I mean, you've been coaching for a couple of years, and your coaching style transcends generations. It also transcends continents and countries. So, would you say there are top three challenges that you've seen people encounter in embracing the concept of mentorship?
Okay. Challenges in embracing the concept of, well, the thing is that in embrace, the challenge could be that some people are not even aware they need a mentor. So if you are not aware, if you don't have that awareness that it's important to have a mentor, you might not make any move to actually get a mentor. Secondly, people have abused mentorship. Okay, so some people actually believe that, oh, because it's my mentor, they made it a one-way relationship. They're just receiving from that person, but they're not giving back. That you are a mentee doesn't mean you should only be on the receiving end. You can actually give to your mentor. And I'm not just talking about money. You can give your time, you can give your resources, you can run errands, you can be of help, you can be of value to a mentor. Then another thing is stereotype. You just assume, that person can never have my time. What if I made that assumption too? Because prior to then, I mean, this person was popular. Pastor Figure was already very famous. So I first of all struggled with it that my mentor, my mentor, how? I want a quiet person, please. Somebody that people don't know. But I had to obey that nudge from the Holy Spirit because I knew it wasn't me. It wasn't something I thought of in my head. That is the place of guidance. I enjoy divine guidance. And thank God I didn't make that assumption that she can never mentor me. She's busy and all that. And there are so many, she has so many mentees. So which space will she have for me? But it didn't happen that way. From our first meeting, I said I got my first mentoring assignment from her. And our relationship has grown so much that she has committed so much into my hands, even as a mentee till date. So that's the exchange of value. People should not just, the challenge is people want to stay on the receiving end. They don't want to give. They don't want to give back. They don't want to be of value. If you're giving back, you're also growing. It's also part of the process. Not just waiting for the next instruction, waiting for help. Help me, ma. I need counsel. I need this. What are you giving back? As you know, most of these people are busy. How can you make things easy for them? You have to think, what can I do to even help this person that is giving me her time and investing in me? Do you understand? So I think those are the challenges, awareness. Some people are not aware that they need a mentor. Some people have actually abused mentorship. And that's why some people will just feel like, please, I can't accommodate anybody in my life right now to mentor. I don't have that time. Then thirdly, assuming that this person can never mentor you because of the person's schedule or the person is famous or something. Yeah.
I mean, I need to use another A word, amazing, because I mean, we've gotten 3 A words here. I had to write down, the points. Awareness of the need. That is a challenge most people have. Most people don't even know. They're not even aware that they need a mentor or a coach. And then you said abuse of the mentorship relationship. Most people feel it's a one-way traffic, right? You just stay on the receiving end without knowing that value is two-way. You give and receive.
Yes.
As they're heightening your value, you also give back that value. And this is beautiful. And then you mentioned assumptions, because assuming that someone is not approachable or someone will not have the time to help you. And this is amazing. I mean, amazing is just the word. Thank you so much for sharing all of these tips, Ma. Okay, so far in your career of global coaching, I'm personally aware that you have transitioned through different jobs. I remember you had to use a redefinition of what career really is in one of your shows recently. And would like to know, how has the tool of coaching and storytelling helped you to impact lives?
Okay, so for me, my coaching journey actually started when I wasn't aware that I was even coaching people. I was still neck deep into PR consulting, PR marketing communications consulting, and I realized that I was coaching people, I was mentoring people, of course, along their career paths and things like that. So, but I wasn't even aware that it was something that I could pay attention to. So, and once in a while, when I see a need, the moment I can identify a need, you see me running trainings, free and paid trainings, but it was just one off. Okay. And an opportunity came. An opportunity came where some people approached me and said that want to pay you. They want to pay me for things I was doing for free. And I didn't get the opportunity because I had a certification, a coaching certification. If I'd had it later on, I started, taking certification courses later on along the lines of career coaching. But my story of how I've been helping people thrive in their careers, even while I was working as a PR consultant, was what opened that door for me. Not because I had any certification, not because I had any formal training as a coach, but I was able to share my story on the things I did, the workshops I organized, the trainings, the one-on-one, how I've helped people so far. That was just it for me. So storytelling is powerful. Everybody has a story. Maybe you're not just aware that you have a story, but everybody has a story. And I was able to connect the dots. So it was easy. The transition for me was easy. I didn't struggle with transition at all. I didn't struggle. It was just that I was a bit slow because I didn't realize that I was sitting on a gold mine. I didn't realize that this was really my real element. But I'm thankful so far on my journey, because my journey through the different parts, to where I am today, everything has all been relevant and everything has been aligned to my values and my strengths. So that was it for me. It made transition really easy when a door opened, and just me telling my story just made me realize that, so I've been doing this and I've just been taking it as one side thing. I'm just helping people. But apparently it helped me, focus on it and put a structure around it. So that's what I would say, the power of coaching and I had results to show for it. So there were results, the results could speak. So it's not like I was making up stories. I can't even make up such stories, because what if they wanted evidence? I have to present evidence. No, they didn't ask for evidence, but I have to present evidence. So that was the relationship. Telling my story actually opened that door for me. That would open that door for me. Yes.
Wow. I mean, I'm just thinking, someone out there listening tonight would be like, how did I miss this opportunity? I thought I didn't have this ready. I thought I didn't have that ready. But you're making us realize that connecting the dots, hindsight and past experiences can actually make up the portfolio of our stories of impact, no matter how little it is. And that was what made you optimize the opportunity when it came back to you, and it aligned your values and strengths. I mean, this is mind blowing. What else would bring out the elements in any human? Thank you so much, Ma, for sharing this. So I would like to ask, so I'm thinking through someone's mind. Okay, now I have a mentor, I have a coach. How do I optimize this relationship? How do I ensure that I am actually building values? Yes, I might be giving values to my mentor or coach as well. But what are the metrics to measure this progress in my mentorship relationship?
Yes. Well, the mentor and mentee should set clear expectations. So it should not just be something that we're just doing, let's just flow. There has to be expectations. This is what I expect from you. as my mentee. Though I won't tell my mentor that, oh, mentor too, I expect this from you. No. But clear expectations and as to what you want to achieve at every phase of that mentorship. And also review, how am I doing? You also ask questions. How am I doing? It's just like a performance appraisal as well. So you appraise the relationship. Very important. Ask for feedback from your mentor. Also, seek clarification, seek help. If you feel you're not even getting a lot of value, it could be a combination of many things. And of course, we can't go into that in this podcast. But there's instances I've heard that the abuse was from the mentor, not even the mentee. So some mentors don't even understand how to really optimize the relationship as well. So the abuse can be from either party. Okay, so some mentors have wrecked, some mentees in the name of mentorship because they don't understand what mentorship really means. So you need to appraise the relationship, review, okay, set clear expectations. It has to be from the beginning. What are the expectations? So that when we are reviewing, I will know whether I've met that expectation. I will know whether I'm really, really growing, and we can talk about areas of improvement. For the mentor that knows what he or she is doing, it could be that the mentor is not investing enough time. So the mentor can renew its commitment or our commitment, like, don't worry, I'll give more time to this relationship. I think that's what the challenge is. That's the mentor that cares, not a mentor that just wants to use people. Then for a mentee too, you also need to ask, what have I even given back to this relationship so far? So it has to be both ways. Set clear expectation and appraise, review as often as possible. It can be quarterly as well. You have to call for that kind of meeting. If your mentor is busy, ask, please, how can you squeeze me into your schedule? I have some things I want to discuss with you. So ask questions. Don't just be waiting on the next thing your mentor will say, and you're not even following up. Follow up. Show up. Okay, show up, to ensure that you are optimizing that relationship. Some people are not proactive. That's another challenge. They're not proactive at all. So please always show up and be proactive. Ask questions. Be in their faces, of course, in a good way. I'm not saying you should start choking them, but be in their faces to always make them know that I'm still here. Please don't forget me. Please, I'm still here. I'm still around and I'm waiting. Also, please show understanding. Show empathy as well. Show understanding, because you two are also going to be a mentor. So it's easier said than done. So don't be quick to judge. As long as it's not an abusive relationship, mentally abusive, because like I said, sometimes it's the mentor, that is wrecking the relationship. And other times it's the mentee that is not maximizing the relationship. So I'll stop there. Thank you.
Thank you so much. This is juicy. I was just, sipping and sipping and sipping, like this juice should not end. Thank you so much, Ma. Okay, now we have talked about mentorship relationship. What about someone who is trying to even find a mentor? The person has identified 5 or 6, 7 people that are potential mentors or coaches. How do I know who is the mentor for me, maybe at this time or for this particular thing? How do you advise someone like that?
Okay. Your mentor is a picture of your future. So do you see your future in that person?
Sorry, pause, please pause, ma. Wait. Guys, ladies, men, women, did we hear that? A mentor is the picture of your future. Please type it in the comment section and pin it. Right on, ma.
All right. So do you see your future in that person? Are your values aligned? You don't choose a mentor blindly, but it's okay to have maybe 5 potential people that you feel like they are aligned. You can see your future in them. They are aligned too, but you cannot have too many mentors too. So what I would say is that don't be afraid to make the move. Once you'll be able to identify maybe 1 or 2 people, let's say 5 of that 5 people, 2 people will agree. That's okay. Okay, but don't be afraid. Once you've decided, you'll be able to identify, is this person, do I see my future in what this person is doing? Is this person a picture of my future? Is this person's value aligned with mine? That means you must have been observing the person. Don't choose somebody blindly. Follow the person on social media. Look at what they post about, the things that they talk about. If they are in the print media or broadcast media, listen to their shows. Do your research well before you settle for anybody at all. Okay, do your research very well so that when you're approaching the person, you're approaching from a point that I've been following you, because as a mentee, you're a follower. So you don't just come, I want you to mentor me. You don't have any idea of what I'm even doing. You don't have any idea of what I'm involved in, even if just one. Even if you don't have to know everything about me, but you should know my line of work and what I do, and why you even find it useful for this phase of your life, and why you want a relationship to kick off. You want me to invest my time in you. So do your research, and when you're approaching the person, show willingness to commit to that relationship. And if you want somebody to mentor you, your why should be very strong and compelling. That is why you need to do a thorough research. Because if your why is not strong and compelling, the person will be like, just one of those girls again. They just want to say that that person is my mentor for the optics. Don't do it for the optics. People don't have time. Respect people's time, please. Don't just say because you want to brag with your friends that do you know Falafaya is my mentor? Yet there's no relationship. Yeah. They're not nurturing the relationship, but you want to brag to people that this person is your mentor. Then that's the wrong motive for getting a mentor. Do your research, ensure your motive is right. So I want somebody to mentor me. At least when I approached my own mentor back in university days, though this one was more of a spiritual instruction, right? But if I was fake, she could have read through me that it's one of those girls. I was even saying that, I will come back, maybe you take some time to pray. But in hindsight, when we're talking about it later, she said the moment she saw me, the moment she gave me the appointment, God already told her that, wow, this is one of your daughters and everything. So please do your research. You need to be in the know of what this person has been up to, doing, the person has been up to, so that when you are requesting for that kind of relationship, you are able to speak from a point of, I know you've been doing this, compliment the person. I see what you're doing, and it looks pretty much like what I always want to do, what I would like to do in the future. I need help in this area. Please be specific. Don't go about the bush. Go straight to the point. And end with the fact that you're willing to commit to the relationship. You're willing to learn everything you can learn in the period of, and you're willing to be held accountable. So some mentees don't want to be held accountable. They just want to attach, but no accountability. It won't work. Be willing to be held accountable as a mentee. So if you can cross all these T's and dot all these I, then you're ready to get a mentor. The probability of getting a no will be very low. Very, very low. And if you get a no is not the end of the world, and it's not the worst thing. No means next opportunity. Please move on to the next person. Simple. But make excuses for people. Maybe the person does not have that bandwidth or that space. Don't assume that the person is a snob. Maybe the person doesn't have that bandwidth, but do your own research, do your own homework first before you approach somebody to mentor you. Research. What has this person been up to? What has this person been doing? Clarify your expectations for the mentoring relationship. Be willing to be accountable and be committed to the relationship. Don't do it for the optics. Don't do it because you want to brag, to your friends that, that person is my mentor. And ask, okay, are you nurturing the relationship? What has this person added to you? Or what have you been giving back? What's the milestone you can identify from the mentorship relationship? Nothing. You just say, hey, but I have a number. That doesn't make her your mentor because you have a phone number. It's not the same thing. So it has to be deliberate and intentional engagement. Thank you.
Powerful. I think this is just a good place to say thank you so much, Ma, for dishing these, do I call them litmus test points to us, so everyone watching that has a mentor or a coach that they have identified with so far, this session tonight is one you should listen to over and over again to review that relationship, that mentorship relationship, and also check yourself to be sure that you're on the right track and you're doing the right thing at the right time. Because our guest tonight mentioned something that, we should not focus on meeting a mentor figure for the farming. We call it farming, right? But it should be for furnishing. It's not just you want to attach to someone, but there should be an accountability structure, active accountability from the mentees and not the mentor or the coach, chasing you around. And this is something to actually ease the coaches of some stress. That is why some coaching relationships are not productive, because there isn't a deliverable, there isn't progress made, because from the mentee's end, you're not doing what you were assigned to do. This is powerful. I'm sure many people are wondering why we're just dwelling on the mentorship coaching thing tonight. Yes, we have a global career coach and talent specialist here tonight. So she's speaking from her vast experience. And I'm sure we've heard some of these things previously, but if you're hearing it again, the emphasis is for our advantage. So we are so grateful. Thank you so much, Ma, for being available to us tonight, despite your very busy schedule. We would like to know how we can connect with you. Are there resources we can, hop into? Are there projects you're doing currently? Are there resources you already have that people can latch on?
Okay. Yes. Thank you for the privilege. Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure, being on this show. Yes, I wrote a book about 4 years now on networking skills. It's called The Gift of People. And it's available in electronic formats. So it's not available in print. So you can get the e-copy. I can be reached on LinkedIn, Mojisola Olutorimi. So you can send me a connection request. You can send me a DM on LinkedIn. It's easier for you to get me via LinkedIn, actually. And also, if you need a book, just let me know through your DM that you need that book. So you can get me on LinkedIn. And I also have the privilege of sourcing for talent for startups. So if I know that you're actually looking to maybe transition, look for a new job, based on our conversation, I think when you approach me, just let me know that you got to know me from this particular show. It will make the conversation faster. We can hit the ground running, okay? Some people just wait. Please don't do hi and wait for me to say hello or good morning. Please, it doesn't work again. All right. So just go straight to the point so that the conversation can move on faster. So yes, you can connect with me on LinkedIn. Then if you feel like you can't reach me on LinkedIn, which is very unlikely, maybe you can talk to Toyin, our anchor. All right.
Thank you so much. Thank you much. So in about 30 seconds, is there something you would like to say to our listeners? Maybe through something they can always remember through transitions, how they can thrive through transitions.
Okay, thriving through transition. I'll say it again. Clarity is progressive. So work with what you know already. Work with the level of clarity you have now. But whatever you're doing, take action. Okay? Clarity also comes with action as well. So whatever you know, whatever you have in your hands now, work with it. That's what God can work with. That's how you actually thrive. You cannot sit in your comfort zone or sit in one place and waiting for one savior to come, to come and deliver you. That deliverance you're seeking, it actually lies with you. So take action, okay? Don't be afraid to fail, because failure means at least you're trying, you're making an effort, you're making progress. And when you make mistakes, see them as lessons. Somebody said that mistakes are portals of discovery. You discover how to do something better when you make mistakes. So don't be afraid to make mistakes, but whatever you do, know that clarity is progressive. And for you to get more clarity, you need to take action. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Ma. Please say something to our guests tonight in the comment section, because I'm going to watch this session again and again. It's so juicy. You can see the way I was just blushing. I was just blushing like, oh, this is so sweet. I want to just see this again. Thank you so much, Ma, for taking our time.
Thank you for having me
on the night.
Thank you for the privilege.
We're going to put the link in the comment section. We're going to get the link from our guest and drop it in the comment section so that you can always connect with her. Thank you, everyone. Have a lovely night, morning, afternoon, wherever you are. Bye. Thank you, ma'am.
Bye.